The holiday party was alive with chatter, clinking glasses, and music humming through the walls. I had spent far too long getting ready, convincing myself it would be an easy night, a chance to reconnect, maybe share a smile or a laugh with a woman I'd loved for years. But the moment I walked in, that hope unraveled. She stood in the center of the crowd, glowing under the warm lights, talking smoothly, laughing without restraint. And there he was, the co-worker whose name kept popping up on her phone. She leaned close to him, her smile a little too bright, her hand grazing his arm like it belonged there. The sight hit me hard, tightening my chest. She didn't look my way. Not once. It was as if I didn't exist. In that moment, the truth settled cold and heavy. She was choosing him over me, openly, without hesitation. I made my way toward her slowly, schooling my expression into something calm despite the heat burning in my ribs. "Hey," I murmured, just loud enough for her to hear. She didn't turn. Instead, she laughed at whatever he said, tilting her head toward him. Then she spoke, words meant to be lighthearted, but sharp enough to cut straight through me. If I had to pick, I'd choose someone else. The people around her laughed, but it all faded into a dull hum. My pulse hammered, but I didn't explode. I didn't argue. I didn't give her the reaction she expected. I simply stood there, letting the weight of her words sink in. When she finally glanced my way, I met her eyes with a look shaped by years of love, disappointment, and quiet anger. It stopped the laughter around her like a sudden drop in temperature. A few co-workers shifted awkwardly, glancing between us. Her confident grin faltered. She hadn't expected this stillness, this refusal to play into the scene she created. I stepped closer, not aggressively, but with a steady, grounded presence she wasn't prepared for. Her fingers twitched around her drink, a tiny tremor betraying her. "Is this what our life meant to you?" I asked softly. "Something to mock?" My voice wasn't loud, yet it carried across the small circle around her. A hush swept in. The co-worker beside her took a subtle step back, no longer wanting to be part of whatever this had become. The color drained from her face. The laughter that had filled her eyes vanished, replaced by a startled vulnerability she couldn't hide. I was just joking," she stammered, barely above a whisper. It was too late. The silence said everything her weak excuse couldn't. I shook my head gently, holding her gaze until the truth settled fully into her expression. This wasn't a joke. This was a choice. Her choice. She looked smaller now, no longer the center of attention, but the focus of uncomfortable eyes. The confidence she had worn so easily minutes before was gone, replaced by the realization of boundaries she had crossed and couldn't undo. I didn't say another word. I simply turned and walked away, not out of anger, not to make a scene, but because dignity demanded it, because some things, once broken, cannot be restored. Behind me, she sank into a chair, head in her hands, the party lights casting long shadows across her face. No one rushed to comfort her. No one met her eyes. The man she'd been flirting with drifted off, unsure and embarrassed. And there, in the middle of a room full of people, she finally understood what her moment of cruelty had cost her. The laughter she'd chased, the attention she craved, none of it could replace what she had lost. Respect, love, the devotion of someone who had once been wholeheartedly hers. That night, the lights continued to glow around her, but they illuminated a truth she could no longer escape. Some lines, once crossed, leave marks that no apology can erase.